Hey, I'm Zero, and this is Only Nice Things, the show that punishes negative opinions with alcohol. Today we're going to talk about Jeremy Clapin's I Lost My Body.
One night, a severed hand suddenly animates to life and embarks on a journey across treacherous terrain in search of its body. Alongside this, we follow an orphaned teen, Naofel, as he struggles with his daily life as a pizza delivery boy who can't seem to catch a break. The story cuts back and forth between the severed hand and Naofel as they both try desperately to keep moving forward despite all the physical and emotional obstacles that constantly rear their ugly heads. Will the severed hand survive the constant animal assaults in order to find its owner? Will Naofel be able to change fate and fix his hopeless situation? And finally, will I ever be able to look at an igloo again and not think about how it might represent the failures of trying to make a human connection? Probably not.
Now let's say some nice things about this film.
I Lost My Body is a heartbreaking story of a young man trying to change his unfortunate disposition and finally have meaning in his life. It tackles how we deal with loss, isolation, and our need for human interactions. It also happens to feature extremely tense moments of survival of a severed hand fighting subway rats, but it never feels out of place in this animated drama. The plot always keeps you wondering how both stories connect and if they'll actually converge in the end.
I really never thought a film about a walking hand could be so captivating and surprisingly thought-provoking.
This movie had me constantly thinking about the things I've lost and my connections to them. Was I taking it all for granted? Will those memories be gone without some sort of recorded proof they even happened? We're constantly shown better days from Naofel's past that harshly juxtapose his current confinement. That's why it becomes so easy to understand his later attachment to a sympathetic voice and his desire to seek it out.
No, I meant the accident. You didn't get hurt, right?
Me? No, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
It's always surprising when an animated film decides to tackle more mature subjects, and I applaud the creators for making such a personal story that always managed to hold my attention.
During the course of the film, I was constantly rooting for Naofel and felt hopeful when he made strides forward, but utter devastation when things came crashing down. The story hits hard when you realize that even good intentions can't hide how they might come across poorly to the other person.
For anyone who's experienced a personal loss, there's a catharsis to Naofel's journey, and it had me emotionally floored during the film's final revelations. Well, that's it for the Only Nice Things portion of this show. If you're sensitive to negative comments or criticisms, you'll probably just want to leave now. Otherwise, stay tuned for the drinking game.
Hey there, viewer. Did you know that you can drink along with me to this review? A flashing bottle will come on screen anytime I have something negative to say about the film. This is your cue to drink.
This movie is indeed depressing. Let's lighten up the mood a bit. Cheers. After my first viewing, I was extremely invested in this random severed hand trying to find its body. After rewatching it though, I feel these sections aren't as strong as Naofel's story.
At first, I was actually only interested in the severed hand segments and felt pretty distracted by the human interactions we kept on cutting to. As the movie progressed though, Naofel's tale obviously takes center stage. Yes, there are parallels between the two, and you can say that what the hand is going through is also what Naofel is going through. But for me, these connections didn't always work, despite making for some interesting moments of relief or peril.
Kind of chilly in my room.
When Naofel first tries to physically meet Gabrielle, it might rub people the wrong way since he follows her home on the train to where he eventually meets her and her uncle. As a viewer, I really wanted their connection to actually stick, so having it begin this way seems like they were already starting things off on the wrong foot.
In context of the story, this is actually kind of necessary. In context of the story, In context of the story, this is actually kind of necessary. But as you're watching it all unfold, you might get a stalker vibe from it.
It's me, Naofel, that's me. I'm the delivery guy.
Oh my god, it's cold. Gotta finish this so I can turn my heat on. Got the chills. Time to tally up the drinking score. As you can see, I've had 6 drinks. Despite the negatives, I didn't know how much I was going to like out. Despite the negatives, I didn't know how much I was going to like I Lost My Body. And even after a second viewing, it kept my interest the entire time.
Yes, it's sad, but it's not sappy, and when Naofel does have success, it feels like a win for the audience as well. It really is a heartbreaking story, but it leaves you on a hopeful note that actually makes me want to see more of these characters, and if they were able to ultimately be happy.
Well, that's it for Only Nice Things. Thanks for watching, and come drink with me next time. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, it's all hitting me now. Oh, it's so cold in my room. And this movie is so sad.